Oh God. Oh. Finally, 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 the Lord has done it. Finally, finally, finally. See, I'm song like this. Oh my goodness. The time here is 8:23 a.m. At about 7:30 or 7:45 when I went into my room to work out. Before I went there, I was having this conversation with my papa and I was like, I have to do so. But he had already told me you will do the review this morning, not at night. Somebody has to see it this morning. I was like, okay, papa, after workout, no answer. And no answer means forget about it. You do it this morning before you work out. So when I got into the room and I said, okay, let me just dress up and then just kneel down there quickly and do the review and then walk out so I don't lose my groove. No answer. You know when you know that somebody is not with you. So I dressed up. I'm like, hey, papa. So I have to come and sit in the parlor. Okay. Brought the laptop to sit in the parlor. You know how you get distracted. I decided to check out something on YouTube. I decided to check out something on WhatsApp. I decided to. By the time I came back to Facebook, Facebook has frozen or whatever. I'm like, hey, papa. So okay. I know that I was talking about obedience this morning, and I've already obeyed by dressing up and coming here. But no, the conviction was you just that's different. We are going to be looking at love language 3 acts of service. How do you serve? It's not just about serving. I learned so much this morning. Humility, obedience, proper way to serve. I was like, okay. When I finished and I said, okay, I've learned all of those lessons, then I rebooted and Facebook came up, and so this is the life. I don't know who it is for that I have to come and sit down here and do this live before I work out. I had thought I had the leniency to decide at what time I do the live and from where I do it and all of that, but sometimes, as I was saying yesterday, when you put your hand on the plow, when you say, send me, Lord, he can even send you right there in your house, on your laptop or your phone or something. Go. Right, and I'm looking at his third love language, which is acts of service. And as I said, you tie it back to relationships because even with God, it's about relationship. So, how do you express your love and what are you comfortable with? What's your primary love language? You have words of affirmation, you have quality time, acts of service. That's what we are looking at today. Some people, as I was saying yesterday, okay, no, this lady yesterday, she was acts of service, no, quality time, and her husband was words of affirmation or plus physical touch. Some people, I mean, you have primary, you have secondary. I can even do all the five, as we will see. What I'm actually doing now is an act of service because I'm putting this out there. So yeah, acts of service is doing something for another person out of love. That is an act of service. If you're not doing it out of love and you're not doing it for God, because we're talking about our relationship with God, right? You are on your own. You are, and it will show you, Pepe. Look at how much time I have spent now just trying to get back in order. so that I can do this and then go work out. And it will not just end at doing this live. I will have to put it on YouTube, because I don't know whether the person is actually on Facebook or on YouTube, or maybe the person will watch it both, or there are more than one. I don't delete that. I don't fool around. I remember when I was watching I was attending this virtual conference on rethinking mental health care for 2 days. Actually, yes, Friday and Saturday. I walked out during the lunch break because I did not want to miss the opening or the first part of the conference. And I did not grumble. I actually begged God to give me the I started to cry. Each day I would read only one chapter, and then I would review that chapter, take it off my chest before I can move on to the next chapter. And some days I will just do one chapter and then just stay like 3 days before I go on to the next. That is how much that book messed me up. This other one is in a spiritual way. Um, his own love language three. Okay, I mixed it up. Yeah, his gifts he's looking at. But since for me gifts is not something I can think of easily, I mixed it up. I took acts of service first. But it doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's a love language. So in his book it is love language 4, whatever. So oh my God. He talks about his friend. He starts this chapter with talking about a friend who is like he's a very busy person. He does a lot of things, and yet it seems like all what he does doesn't please his wife. He's like he works 75 hours a week. He brings home so much. He does this and he does that, and he does a lot too for the church and for all kinds of charity works and all of that. And he doesn't really find time, to spend some time with God like his wife does, and it's challenging. But after talking with Dr. Chapman, or Gary Chapman, I don't know his title, he realized that it would be a good thing for him to to try to do something else, and maybe also he was hopeful that his wife will understand, or his family will understand his own love language, because frankly speaking, when he was doing all those things he came alive. So some people, their love language is acts of service, and they love it. For them it's really like what Jesus said, whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do to me. And they consider work as a means to express their love, just like Mother Teresa. She will see Jesus. And it's the same thing that Jesus did. He was going around the villages and everywhere. He wasn't even interested in staying only in, which was a big city, Bethlehem or whatever, Judea. No, he will even go to Samaria, where people are like, what are you going to do in Samaria? Go to Jericho, go left, go right. Like, must you be on the go, on the go, on the go? He knew his ministry was just 3 years, so he had to do the maximum in those 3 years. And once he went to visit his friend Lazarus and the sisters Mary and Martha, and I think you not come out, you will not have me forever. Jesus just said, well, Mary has made the best choice. You will not always have me. But he did not tell her to stop doing that, because it's just as important. I was talking this morning about my Bishop Beryl, and how she has this association, Church Without Walls Evangelical Association. She does just so much. On Sunday, they're cooking. We start cooking Saturday night to be able to go and feed the people on the street on Sunday. Leave the house by, is it what, 10 or 11, or with a trunk full of food in packs. On Fridays it's evangelism, and she's not just going to go and talk about Jesus and go. She's actually with this she started a ministry to single parents, and currently empowering them to start small businesses. Because if you just talk to somebody who is hungry, what is that? Give him food to eat. Even Jesus said that, give him food to eat. He said it to his disciples. He says, send the people into the village to go and find food. He said, no, give them food yourself. So yes, he believes in acts of service. Do something. Actually, faith without works is dead, right? And this morning the prayer was that God should help us to be doers and not just hearers of the word. Even in the Old Testament, to the point where when the angel came to Gideon thought he had to also do something to get the assurance that God was with him. Because they had been used to it. You had to offer a sacrifice, you had to do something, you had to go and walk in the field, you had to build a temple, you had to do something, because God started doing things with them. He made the garden, he put Adam and Eve in the garden, he created everything. That was acts of service, out of love for us. He parted the Red Sea for them, he makes them have leaders, and when it was time for judges, he made those choices for them. And then when they say, oh, we want a king, he chose Saul and then David. And so yes, there's nothing wrong with acts of service. You have people who are busybodies in the church or in their lives. If they're not serving, then they're serving. Like, even to sleep for them is hard. One thing after the other. They want to belong to all the groups in church. Serve, go clean father's house, clean pastor's house, carry water, bring basket of fruit, be in the liturgy, be in the choir. To each their own. God looks at the heart. So we are not in any position to judge another person's expression of love for God. But none is wrong. If you are I do it just because I love doing those things and it's therapeutic for me, like washing plates, washing clothes. It's not because I love you, it's because I love doing that particular exercise. Just like working out, it's not only because I love which working out. Sometimes I don't want to, but it's good for my body. So that is the whole idea. And so I want to end this chapter. I don't want to read too much from the chapter, although I underline so much, because I want people to go find the book. And you can serve through giving money. You can, supporting a mission. You can serve through spending, no, not spending time with people, but bringing food to people and all of those things. um how many volunteer organizations can you name in your area that exist primarily to offer acts of service to others? Are there things you can do to get involved in one or more? I have one myself. Okay, on a personal level, what acts of service have you done for others lately? Hey, kick and I clean and cook until I can clean and cook no more. I talk with people, there's some people who get free sessions from me. And then children, of course, all children victims of sexual abuse bring anyone to me. Like, that's my own way. So there's nothing wrong in having that as your love language. And but don't expect everybody to embrace that love language. And it's okay. Don't judge people who don't share